So today we will discuss about the screw threads. Okay. So first we should know what are the contents in this PDF. I will discuss the introduction, screw thread nomenclature, forms of thread, and various thread profiles, their designation, multi-start, left hand thread, right hand thread are I will discuss. So what is CO1, that is in your syllabus, that what will you learn from this PDF or this topic. So after learning this PDF you will able to draw the profiles of threads and various locking devices such as nut and nut and bolts we will discuss in next chapter, but for today we will discuss various forms of thread. Okay, so this is your CO1. So when you see screw thread, what does come in your mind? So you see the screw threads, this shape, these shapes are called threads. Okay, you are saying all these are threads. So how do we get threads? So to get a thread, what we have to do? We have to take a cylindrical bar. You see here a cylindrical bar, and on that cylindrical bar, this tool, single point cutting tool, is fed against this cylindrical bar, and then same time we move it along this direction, that is this is the axis of the cylindrical bar. So we will move our tool along this direction, along this. So this is called we move this single point cutting tool at a constant speed. So this is called feed of the tool. And say on lathe machine we rotate the cylindrical bar, and when the cylindrical bar is rotated at constant speed, and then we fed the tool in axial direction, and same time we press the tool against this cylindrical bar. We can call it workpiece. So due to the cutting action, a groove starts forming, and when we move the tool in this direction, in axial direction of the cylindrical bar, we get this type of groove. This type of groove are called helical groove, and we get this form. So this form is called screw thread. So and total part is called screw thread. Obviously we make this form on some cylindrical bar, so that part becomes the screw thread. Screw is the name of an element or a part and on which you have prepared the thread. So now you see so there are two ways to form the screw thread. First one, by this way, you rotate the workpiece or cylindrical bar on the lathe machine and then fed the tool against the workpiece. Next is this one. This is done for the larger size of the workpiece. If the diameter is large, then we use on lathe machine or turning machines. Then this type of thread we form with the use of this one is called, the man is holding this tool is called die. So this is used for the smaller workpiece. Next is So what is the advantage of using die? We can use hold it in hand and we can rotate it. But if this part is very small, we will face difficulty in it fixing on the lathe machine. Again, if the size is very small, so there would be difficulty in controlling the dimension, because when we will fed the tool might shift from the axial position to some other position. So for that reason we use the die and we rotate the die along this way. So and same time we press against the workpiece. We rotate it and same time we are also forcing it this way, so we get this form of thread with the help of die. Another tool is used. So first you understand that we are forming the thread on the outer side of the surface. Here you see we have formed the thread at the outer surface, and same here we are forming the thread at the outer surface and same outer surface. So all these are called external threads. So how to make thread inside a surface? For example, take this one is hole and you are interested to cut the thread inside of this hole. So for that you need another tool that is called TAP tool, and that is used for the cutting internal thread. I hope I have cleared this. So I have discussed this one. Then applications of screw threads. So first objective is to hold the parts together. Okay, so you see is a simple example I have shown that this one is a base that is made from the wooden and this one is restricting surface. So we have bounded it, we have fixed it with the help of this nut and bolt. You see, same way we are holding the part 1, this one and this one wooden part and a steel part, a steel frame together. Again there are the parts with reference to each other. Sometimes we need to adjust the position like this. So by rotating it we can change the position of both parts. Sometimes in engineering this type of arrangement we need. So for that reason screw thread helps us. Again, to transmit power like screw jack or vices where you hold the parts for various cutting purposes, finishing purposes, like bench vices. Threads are also used to transmit power to hold the parts together. By transmitting power, by pressing, they hold the part together. Now screw thread nomenclature. So what are the various elements in screw thread? First, this one, sorry, let me take feedback from you. Are you getting it or not? Reply in comment box. How to watch screen. Okay. So if you have any doubt till now, you can tell me. I am reading your comment box. Yes, Abhishek, threads are cut on lathe machine. There are also turning machines where we can cut the threads, and then CNC machines are there. If you have any kind of doubt, at least tell me in the comment box so that I can move ahead. Nobody is replying. So what is tap? Tap is a tool to create the internal thread inside the hole. So it is like this one. This one is called die. This one is called die, and same time this die is used for cutting the external thread. Suppose this one, we take it and we place it against inside a hole. Suppose this is hole. This hole direction in this way. So if we place it in this hole, what will happen? First requirement is this tap hole. This one is called tap. So if we fade it against this inside this hole, what will happen? Thread will start forming. So this is, and here at the end we will have the some holding frame, holding lever, and various arrangement to change the tap size. So these we get it tap size based on the diameter of the hole. So there are various types of tap, and based on the sizes, whatever size we need, we can change it, fix it, and then we will use it against this. Like here, what we can do, we can adjust the diameter. We can adjust. Same way we can change. Instead of adjusting, we will change, because there are standard tap tool, standard size. We cannot change this. So we have to change the whole part, whole tap for the different sizes. Okay, so I have discussed the tab. So please explain one more time about the screw thread, as I have joined now. This is live and it will also record, and you can watch later. You should have come at the start. So I hope there is no doubt. So let's move to the form of the screw thread and nomenclature. So in nomenclature, what are the various name of the parts in the screw threads? So this one you see from here to here, that is called bar diameter or Salenka bar diameter of the rod. So in general sense, we call it nominal diameter. Which diameter? nominal diameter. Point number 7 here, read it. On which Sri-Lanka bar the threads are cut. Okay, point number 7, nominal diameter. See this, we have taken this Sri-Lanka bar and we are cutting the screw thread. So this one. Then what is crest? Crest is the top of the thread. Root is the when your thread touches the Sri-Lanka bar, there that you call it root. See here, this one, like thread is like that. So this becomes your root and this becomes your crest. Okay, this becomes your flank side. This becomes your flank. On flank, threads apply pressure on flank. This one, you see, this one is flank. Oh, wait a minute. See, this is your flank. Oh, this one, you see the side of the thread, these are flanks. Then we have major diameter and minor diameter. So when we measure the diameter from root to root, one side of from here to here, that becomes your minor diameter or root. We can call it, because we are measuring the diameter from one side of root to other side of root. So root to root becomes root diameter or minor diameter or core diameter. Then crest, root, flank, angle. So see this, the thread is forming this angle. See here, the angle between two threads are called thread angle. Between two adjacent flank, we can call it thread angle or angle of thread. So you see here, this one, see here, between two flank, angle between two flanks is called thread angle. Next is again you see this angle and this angle, this becomes angle between two flank, so that is your thread angle. Next is depth. So this is the depth of your thread, this much, because you have cut that much of the material from the nominal diameter. So this is your depth of the thread. So you measure it from crest to root diameter. Okay, so it is your depth of the thread. So it is measured normally along this is called it, not diagonally. We don't measure diagonally, we measure normal to the axis of the thread. So and depth, measure diameter. So what is the measure diameter? I will discuss now. So what happens, why we use two different terms? You see, major diameter, major diameter is same as a nominal diameter, point number 7, but there is a small difference. Reason is that difference is due to the deformation. When we cut the threads on this cylinder bar, what happens due to material deformation? There is because we are cutting the materials, and that's why we are getting the grooves. So materials deforms on the surface of the cylinder bar, and there is a chance that the crest will cross the bar diameter. So that's why generally major diameter is somewhat greater than the nominal diameter, that is the diameter of the cylinder bar on which we are cutting the screw threads. Okay, so this one. So now you know why we call it major diameter, because in cutting, when we cut the thread, due to the material deformation, the threads, the crest might go, or it goes, so the thread crest will be beyond the nominal diameter. So that's why we call it major diameter. But in general sense, that deviation is so small that we consider it almost negligible deviation. So in layman term, we call it same nominal diameter. So these two are used sometimes interchangeably. Either you can call it major diameter or nominal diameter, but in technical sense, major diameter is greater than nominal diameter. Nominal diameter you measure on the cylinder bar, and major diameter you will measure on the thread from crest to crest. So obviously, as you know, due to cutting a metal deformation, the crest to crest diameter would be greater than the cylinder diameter or nominal diameter. So in that sense, when we talk about this deformation, in that sense major diameter is greater than nominal diameter. So what is next is effective diameter. So consider an imaginary line like this imaginary line, where the groove depth, groove width is equal to the thread width. When consider an imaginary line like this one is okay. So consider an imaginary line that is where this thread thickness becomes equal to this groove width. So if these two are, obviously there would be a line where either you move upward or downward. This is imaginary line. Okay, so on that line the groove width is equal to the thread width or thread thickness. So this is imaginary, and that diameter is from one side to other side we measure the diameter, and that diameter is called pitch diameter or effective diameter. Which pitch diameter or effective diameter. Next is lead. What is lead? When we turn the screw thread one complete revolution, and when we measure the axial travel of the screw thread, that measurement will be known as lead of the screw thread. You rotate it by one revolution and see in which direction screw thread is moving. If it is moving this direction, measure that length, and that is your lead. And pitch is, you measure, take a point on the screw thread and take the adjacent point on next screw thread, so that becomes your pitch. So either you measure it from root to root or from crest to crest or any point on the flank, again on same line you measure it on next point, here and here, where, yes, here. So in all cases that we will call it pitch. So, and slope, see the thread is forming that angle, the flank, we measure the flank from a normal plane. If the thread form is going this way, take a normal plane and measure this angle, that is the slope of the thread. Okay, so in that case you see this one is going and this one, so we are measuring from the normal plane, the thread form is going this way and we are taking the normal plane, and that angle, this angle that is visible to you is known as slope of the thread. And there is one relation between pitch and slope, that as you know, if this is your pitch and in one revolution, if threads are cut in such a way that in one revolution of the screw you reach from here to here, or this point, when you rotate it, obviously it will move either this way or this way. If suppose it is going to forward direction, so when you rotate one by one complete rotation, so that movement in complete one rotation, it is called pitch, and in that sense pitch becomes pitch V equals to lead. In that case pitch and lead become equal. Okay, so I am moving to the next. So here you see the height or depth of the threads have been discussed. This one, minor diameter, pitch diameter, major diameter, and this is clearance. When we engage the thread to the another thread, there should be some clearance so that there should not be any locking, and that is called clearance. So this outer part becomes your nut and inner part becomes your screw, or you form it on the bolt. So here things are, you see the depth of the thread, this one from crest to crest or root to root or any point on the on the thread to the subsequent next point on the next thread. Then major diameter and minor diameter from root to root, and pitch diameter, as we discussed that consider an imaginary line where thread thickness is equal to the groove width. So here this one and this one, when this groove width equal to the when this one is your groove width, and from here this one is your thread width. So suppose it is happening here and then here. So 1 and 2, when 1 and 2 becomes equal, it is that you measure it along that imaginary line, that becomes your pitch diameter. I hope it is clear. Then forms of screw threads. There are two main forms, that is, one is triangular or V thread and another one is square. Rest threads are combination of one or both. Either it means the other threads we will get some modification in triangular or V thread, or some modification in square thread, or we will get the combination of 1 and 2. So broadly in two threads, another are modification 1 and 2. So in V thread or triangular thread, we will study the following threads: unified thread, metric thread, British standard with work thread, that is called BSW, British standard fine thread, and British standard pipe thread, then Sailor thread and British Association thread. We will discuss all these one by one. See, triangular threads or V thread, there was an, see, there are various countries and each country is exporting exporting some machinery from their country. So if one country exporting to another country, what will happen if there is any wear of the parts? So that part needs to be replaced, and if the obviously there would be some nut and bolt, screw threads, there are various this type of arrangement, and what will happen with time, those threads will get wear, and then we have to replace it. If we have brought that machine from foreign by importing it, so for a single element like nut or say bolt, we need to reorder it. So because we are not making it any, if we have not followed any standard in manufacturing of the nut and bolt or in manufacturing of the threads, we will not able to produce it in domestic market. So we have to order it. So it will create like when to order, what to order, how much to order, and again it will make losses to the company. So there was a general convention around 1947 that around that time there was an organization called ISO, International Organization for Standardization. In that time the countries like India, Britain, USA, Canada, and there were various other countries that assembled, discussed, and then they decided and start manufacturing the standard form of the threads. So from that time, this thread, triangular or V thread, this is standard form. We get it. So generally, fundamental we get it based on the fundamental triangle. So you see there is a triangle and threads are cut from these triangles. So we have cut off this much from the crest side and some we have left some material in root side. There is a difficulty in cutting exactly V thread. Here we need exactly pointed tool to cut it. Exactly same pointed tool. And what will happen, since in machining the tool gets wear, so we will not able to get it in all the threads. So that's why instead of getting pointed thread, we left some material and we make it as a this way curve. So that we leave it for internal thread root side, and for external thread again root side. And same time, since the threads are engaging, wait a minute, threads are engaging like this. A thread will go inside this, next thread will go inside this. So again, if there are perfectly triangular in both cases, so we need to ensure the precision in the form of the thread, but and this will also create some locking when we move the thread. Okay, so it will require, there would be greater friction and it will require more force, so it will not slide smoothly. That's why there is another reason, this is the another reason that we cut the crest and root, will make it rounded inside the internal thread and cut the crest from the external thread. So just for a moment understand it. So triangular threads are formed based on the standard or fundamental triangle. So for external thread you will cut off some crest, you will chop off some crest, and for internal thread, instead of preparing, instead of making exactly V-shaped thread, we leave some material and make it groove. So that is for internal thread. I hope I have cleared this. Next is like this, what is D, what is small d. This in triangular or V thread, standard angle is, thread angle is 60° for V thread, because we have got it from the fundamental triangle, so 60°. Now D is your theoretical diameter. I will discuss what is theoretical diameter. Okay, and D is, small d is your actual diameter. So theoretical diameter from this to D, we can take it theoretical depth, not diameter, theoretical depth. So this would be, this should be your capital D from crest to root. This is capital D, but as you see we leaving some portion, so we will leave some portion here and we are again at this side. From this fundamental triangle we are leaving some this portion, we are cutting when we talk about internal thread. So theoretical depth should be 0.86 p. P is your pitch, and actual depth is 0.54 p. That is for internal thread. And see, theoretical depth for external thread is 0.86, both same, because this is triangular V thread and fundamental triangle for both. This one consider it for external, consider this one for internal. So actual depth for both cases are same, but here is the difference. What I said the theoretical is same for both cases, and actually there is, you see the difference. Okay, so small d is the actual depth and capital D is the theoretical diameter. So your question arises, sir, if you can ask me that if this is the formula we have to use for the depth, so what is P, how to get P? So I will show you how to get P. So come to this slide. Now you see in unified thread, first is why it is called unified, because the American standard they adopted it this way. So this one female thread and this one is male thread. You can call it nut side and you can call it screw side. Okay, so screw side thread is your external thread, nut side thread is your internal thread. So nut side thread and screw side thread, your internal, for nut internal and for screw external. So now you see this way. So you have to prepare, there is Schlenker bar and you have to cut the thread on that. So for that you will prepare the internal external thread, and there is a part where there is a hole and you have to produce internal thread so that you can assemble, you can join two parts, any two parts by use of this screw and nut. So you need to cut the thread inside the hole. So for that you will prepare internal thread by cutting. So consider it that this part will go here, this will here, this part will go here, this will come here, this will go here, and this will come here. So when we rotate it, it moves helically. It not moves this way. When it forms a thread in such a way that when we rotate it, it moves helically. That's why it advances or retract in axial direction. Okay. So again the question is same, how to get the value of P. So we have the theoretical depth, d small d is the actual depth, for internal 0.54, for external 0.61 p, and how to get the value of P. So first you should know that unified thread is used in inches. It is always mentioned in inches. So there would be some nominal diameter, that is the diameter, you cylindrical bar diameter on which you are going to cut the thread. So that will mention in the form of inches. Again, in this case, it will be mentioned that how many number of threads in 1 inch, or that is also called thread per inch, TPI. So if you have 16 thread in 1 inch length along this, so you mentioned 16 TPI, thread per inch. We don't need to write this one TPI, because when we are using unified, so 16 automatically becomes thread per inch, because it is only used in inch per system. Okay, question is same, how to get the value of P so that we can get all the dimension, because as you see, capital D, small d is dependent on the P, and this d by 8, d by 6 are cut off, somewhere it is left, so all these are dependent on D and these are dependent on P. So now you see what's wrong. Just wait a minute. So you see this one, this is you measure the diameter of this part, shank part, that becomes your nominal diameter, and when you measure the diameter along the thread, that will become your which diameter? Major diameter. Okay, so sometimes in all the times the major diameter is somewhat greater than nominal diameter. Okay, so this part becomes shank, thread length from here to here, it is thread length. Okay, then this one is washer, this one is your nut, this one is your bolt. In particular case, this is your bolt. Okay, so next I want to discuss, yes, how to get the value of P so that we can get the capital D and small d, and we can draw the thread form. So to get the value of D, first we should know the value of nominal diameter. What is the nominal diameter? Okay, sometimes like in general sense, nominal diameter or major diameter are same, but in technical term, major diameter is greater than nominal diameter. So what you can do, you take a vernier caliper, measure this diameter, outer diameter of this cylindrical bar, and that becomes your nominal diameter. And next you will move to this chart. There is standard chart that if your nominal diameter, this one is for unified thread. So if your nominal diameter is like say for 1 inch, so thread per inch there would be n, that is 8 threads in 1 inch, and core diameter would be 0.8466 core diameter. Now you know if this one is your number of thread, n is equal to 8. Okay, so pitch is like from here to here. In 1 inch you have 8 complete thread. Okay, so when you rotate 8 times, it will move and will move from, you can move to part from one end to this end. In which direction moving, it is immaterial. Whatever direction you will choose, it will move exactly 1 inch when you take 8 complete revolution. Oh sorry, rotation, 8 complete rotation. So, and as the basic definition of pitch is from crest to crest, measure the crest to crest or root to root. So there are 8 number of crest. So 1 2 3 4 like 8, and we have to measure only this one, that is your pitch. So n number of threads are there, so in that case your pitch becomes 1 by n, in that case 1 by 8. Pitch becomes equal to 1 by 8. So that's how you will calculate the pitch. And from once you have got the value of P, based on this you can calculate the various small d capital D by 8 D by 4. You can calculate all this data and you can make the form of thread. Next is, remember this table. So you have to look for this table. If you are, whatever nominal diameter you are taking, you have to look it, you have to refer this table, and based on that table you will able to get, because these are the standardized form. So when you are taking 1 inch, you will always prepare 8 thread in 1 inch. See, diameter is 1 inch, length can be any value, and in that length 1 inch there are 8 thread. So in 2 inch there would be 16 thread. Don't confuse it with the nominal diameter. And okay, so this is your nominal diameter on cylindrical bar where you are cutting thread, and this is the length of thread. So in 1 inch, based on this standard form, there should be 8 thread. In 16, when length is 16, length is 2 inch, there would be 8 plus 8 16 thread. Length is 3 inch, again you will get 24 threads. So number of threads per inch you will measure along the axial direction, not based on this direction. Again take 1.5 inch, you have thread per inch 6. Again core diameter you will get this value. So based on this, if you are taking the core diameter, nominal diameter 1.5 inch, and then in that case in 1 inch you have to cut 6 thread. In 1 inch you have to cut 6 thread. So this table is helpful, you have to refer this table. And how will you refer? Based on the nominal diameter. You look for the, you measure the nominal diameter and look for this table on unified screw thread table, and based on that you will get these two value, n value and core diameter. Once you get the n value, get the p value, p is equal to 1 by n, and use it in drawing. Since you have got the p value, you got the p value, you can form the triangle, because this side you have got, this side you have also got, this side you have also got, so you can form the triangle and you can draw the profiles. Now moving to the next slide, metric thread. So like we saw in unified thread, the measurement system was inches, but in metric thread we will use MKS system, that is metric system. Okay, so the form is the same, standardization is same, but we have to use the next table that was in the previous slide, and same table I have shown here. Again, d is the your actual, sorry, d is your theoretical depth and small d is the actual depth, and see the where you this part d by 4 part from internal 3 you have to cut, and d by 8 form 8 part you have to leave it inside the internal thread, and for external thread d by 8 you have to cut here, d by 6 you have to leave. So actual and internal, theoretical and actual. So again same question, how to get the value of d? What is d? Theoretical depth or small d? Actual depth. If you somehow, because you have to draw this form, and to draw this form you need to value of p, that is pitch value. And how to get it? Now you know how to get it, value of p. To get it value of p, you will refer the again standard table, you will refer this ISO, International Organization for Standardization table. They have provided this table, and suppose your nominal diameter is, this one is 16. Okay, so you measured it on vernier caliper and you found that the diameter is 16. In that case your pitch value should be 2 mm. 2 mm. If this one is 16 mm, then in that case your pitch value should be 2 mm. Then core diameter would be this way, this much. Okay, since you have got the value of p, you use value of p to find out the capital D, small d. Draw this length and then draw the triangular. As angle, you know angle is again same. What is angle? 60 degree. So you draw the triangles, make it 60 degree, leave that much part, again chop off that part. So for that you need to draw 4 light line, and then basic triangle you will draw. So either you draw this parallel line continuously and then you draw parallel line continuously, you will get the form. And here this side uh, this side you leave that much and make it curve, and this side you chop off, and same do it for the draw 4 lines, one for full actual depth, no sorry, theoretical depth, next is for actual depth, then this actual crest and theoretical crest, and draw the parallel line. So the whole angle is 60 degree, half angle is 30 degree, or slope is 30 degree. So you draw it this parallel line, and again you take a reference and you draw this line, and then you can easily cut this part and you can make curve from the root side. I hope I have cleared this one. So again, there is two types of thread in metric. One is coarse thread, one is fine thread. So you say for M16, M symbol is used, letter is used to denote it is metric thread. So M next is given by the nominal diameter value, that is 16 is M16 is this one. In coarse thread, this one 1596, minor diameter 13.8135, and pitch diameter is 2. And fine thread, there are two fine thread, 16 into 1 and 16 into 1.5. So what is the difference? Difference in pitch diameter. In coarse thread, in standard form it is 2, but in fine thread there are two categories that use 1 mm pitch and 1.5 mm pitch. So fine threads are generally called used when you have to make a greater accuracy. You have to adjust the part at very small length. So you need fine thread. It means there are more thread in per inch or per length, more thread in per length. That's why you see pitch length, pitch value 1 here and here 2. Okay, then metric thread form. Again you see the angle is, thread angle is 60 degree, and you see these are forming the triangle. And how we have got? By removing some part from the crest side, from the root side. Okay, next is British standard pipe fine thread and British standard pipe threads. So British fine threads are having the same, oh sorry, I have not discussed this one. British standard with what thread? So it is used in Britain. Britain manufacturer were using this, so they have make it and published in, so, and it is known as, see, as you know that Britishers were obviously, they have established their colony in various countries, and from England, Britain, they have shipped machines in their colonial country. So obviously they were shipping it, so in those machines they were using this type of threads. So with time it has been standardized, and in that British standard with for thread, the angle of thread is 55 degree. Okay, and theoretical diameter is theoretical depth is 0.96 p and actual depth is 0.64 p. Okay, so this form angle is 15. Just remember the one value, second value and third value. Next, how to get the value of p? If you remember, you have to go for the table again, the previous table that there were three tables. One was for unified, next one was for metric, third one is for British standard with what thread, BSW thread. So from that table, let me move quickly. See this British standard with what thread. Again, the nominal diameter is given in the inch. So 1 inch 8 threads per inch, and this one is core diameter. We have to refer it. So if p is this one, again we have to calculate the value of this one. N is number of threads 8, so we have to calculate the value of p. 1 by 8 we will get it, the p value, and we will use it. Okay, then I was discussing this one. So with what profile that having the angle of 55 degree, this one pitch is, again we calculated thread per inch 1 by n. If n is number of thread in 1 inch, so pitch becomes 1 by n. And same profile, fine pitch. For fine pitch, it means smaller depth. If depth is smaller, then effective diameter and root diameter will be larger. So that is used in automobile and aircraft work, or elements or parts. And British standard pipe threads are used in where you have to use the part like in gas, steam and water pipes. If you have to use this field, then you have to go for the British standard pipe thread. These are specified by the bore of the pipe. Okay, I will discuss it. So you measure the internal diameter inside the pipe, and that becomes your bore of the pipe. For example, all these pipes, you take any pipe and measure the internal diameter, that becomes bore of the pipe. So there are two ways to assemble. First, you prepare the internal thread inside the pipe, and if you have to join it another, then you have to cut the external thread. So when you cut external thread on the outer surface, it becomes male thread, and when you cut internal thread inside the pipe, then it becomes female thread. And since you are cutting according to the standard, so you will use the BSP, that is British standard pipe thread. So in parallel case, this one is fixed, width is fixed in both cases. But when this type of thread you are using tapered BSP, so in that case you also need to taper BSP female thread, so that it can accommodate, like as you see, as you have seen that these are used where the gas, steam or fluid supply is used, like gas, steam. So we have to make the seal joint, tight seal joint. It means there should not be any leakage, and that's why for that purpose a tapered shaped are used, so that when they combine they, and you apply forces, external forces, so that they lock perfectly, there is no leakage through the threads. That's why they use tapered. This one, parallel threads are used in automobile and aircraft, and taper is generally in gas, water, steam and fluid industry. So for that we have this table. Okay, take 2 inch. In that case you will have 11 inch per minute, or 11 thread per inch, and then pitch would be this value, outside diameter, and outside diameter in mm and inches. So what happens, see, you have to match it, like if this one is inner diameter, bore diameter, and since you are using in fluid pressure, so to maintain the pressure you need to give the thickness of the pipe wall. So based on various thickness your outside diameter will vary, this will vary. So if this one is varying, then you have to use, you have to refer the table. There are various table, and for a single this table has been given up to 2 inch. See, up to 1 inch the threads per inch are constant, and pitch is also constant. Only difference in outer diameter. So you can prepare it, oh sorry, here only difference in outer diameter. So you can select it, the your outer diameter based on your requirement. So again here it is mentioned that various typical size and uses. These are the standardized form, and it is these are used. So you will, again profile is same, British profile is same, British standard width for thread, same profile, that thread angle 55 degrees is used, and actual and small depth is same. This thread is used mainly in USA. So again you see the basic triangle is fundamental triangle is there is, this is the fundamental triangle, and we have got it. I will finish it because I am getting outside disturbance in 2 minutes. I will finish in 2 minutes. So this is the form, and theoretical and actual depth you see, and how to get cellular thread, the value of P based on again there is a standard table I have not given here, but it is used in USA. You refer to the cellular thread table and you will get the value of P, like in previous cases we are getting. After that British Association thread. So as your name suggests, this is used mainly in Britain. So for that this these dimensions are used, capital D and small d. Capital D, as you know, the theoretical and small t is actual depth, p value is, again for this we have another table, reference table, that I have not included here because we are not using in India. So for British Association thread, that is used in Britain, for p value you have to refer the table, and same for seller thread you have to refer the USA standard table that is used in United States of America. So I am finishing it here. Reason is some disturbance, and if you have any doubt you can tell me, I will discuss. Tell me any doubt. I am live for 1 or 2 more minutes. Yes, you have asked me, sir, how to get P. I have discussed. P is the pitch diameter. Yes, sir, pitch and pitch diameter different. Yes, pitch and pitch diameters are different thing. Major and minor, are they related to pitch or pitch related? Major diameter and minor diameter are, see, major and minor diameter are not related to pitch. They are in standard form, we get it. In standard form, when we cut the thread as per standard, we will automatically get what we have in the table form. So if there is any other question, external screw thread and tab devices similar in shape. Yes, similar is shape. Shape is similar, but since you are using for the thread cutting, so tab threads are harder than screw thread. Students, you have any question, you tell me. I hope I have answered all your questions. I will finish. You reply me in the chat if you have any question. In matrix, thread is the value of P already given in the standard table, or we have to calculate it. Tanmay, it is given in the table. The P value is given in the table. See, there are two forms in, because there are various manufacturers that they were using in Navy, they were in machine threads. So as per convention, with time they have developed these two standards like British Association threads. So generally it was previously only Britishers were using, and then British standard with for threads, and British Association, there are various countries, and various countries were using, and British standard with word thread mainly used in only in Britain, but they as they established the colonies various countries, so that they have taken with them also. So British standard with word thread and British Association threads are used as per the requirement, but in general sense there are mainly three: unified, metric and BSW threads are used. If anything else you can ask me, I will, otherwise I will end the stream. Okay, can you repeat the calculation for P? Calculation for P, we don't need to calculate it, only for the, if the thread per inch is given, like from the table. See this, thread per inch is given. Okay, so from the nominal diameter we have got, say, 8. So in standard form there should be 8 thread and core diameter should be this one. So how to get value of P? To get the value of P, we have to use it, because in 1 inch length it is stating that number of threads per inch. It means in 1 inch there are 8 thread. So as you know, from crest to crest is your value P, and there is, if there is 8 thread, so how to calculate value of P? P is equal to 1 by n. You calculate it. Again, for this 1.5 inch nominal, this value is 6 thread per inch. How to get value of P? 1 by 6. In metric threads it is given directly. As you know, unified it is given thread per inch, but in metric thread value P is given. And again in BSW threads, again they give thread per inch. Only in metric thread we directly get the value of P. And in first case and third case we have to calculate the value of P based on this formula. Aditya, I have repeated the calculation of P. There is nothing for today discussion. If you have any kind of doubt, you ask me, and otherwise we will end it here. Okay, I am not getting any more questions, so I am ending.